Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. In this one, I want to talk about The Walking Dead in terms of crossovers. If you remember, Gimple has been doing interviews with EW this last week. Part 4 came out today, and today was about Fear the Walking Dead, and also about crossovers. He did touch on crossovers in, I guess, one of the parts, but in this one here, he talks about some interesting crossover events that they could do in the future, and that's why I want to talk about that, because, yeah, I never thought of it in that way, but they could potentially do something in what he suggested anyways. That, and I also want to talk about Sherry. So, of course, before we jump in, I do have to warn you for spoilers for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, and I guess The Walking Dead Season 10, at least so far. If you're new to the channel and you want more Walking Dead content like this in terms of reviews and breakdowns of all the new interviews or information that we do get about the show, just make sure to be a subscriber to get future content. The show's coming back in just a little over 6 weeks. The promotion for the second half is going to be very, very insane. I mean, the second half of the season, I am just so excited for, because the first half was definitely a slower season. I definitely enjoyed it. I went back and rewatched some of the episodes, and there are moments I do enjoy a lot more. I think when you're waiting week to week, it definitely, especially in today's climate, you want to binge things really fast. You want to watch things faster than ever. So with The Walking Dead, a show that is definitely already slow paced, it just makes it feel that much slower, right? But still, the first half definitely was a setup part, and the writing, everything is still there. It's not like the setup was bad or anything like that. The first 8 episodes of this season were really good, but the second half, there's going to be so much to talk about. I mean, there's so much going on in the second half. I know a lot of you guys are excited for it. Like, I can just see it in the comment section. Ever since New Year's anyways, it's starting to build a little bit more. And the first thing I do want to talk about here is what Gimple had to say. Actually, I should say that in this article, Gimple does talk about the criticisms that Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 got, and whether or not that changes their storytelling, and he also kind of responded to the criticisms a little bit. I'm not going to get into it too much here, but if you want to check out the article, I will leave a link down below. What I want to focus on is just 2 things that he does talk about, which is a crossover TV show, or I guess not really a crossover TV show, but a crossover like Crisis on Infinite Earths, and also talks about Sherry. But let's talk about the Sherry thing first. Could we see Sherry on Fear the Walking Dead? Like, could we actually see her come back? The rumors out there right now are that she's been spotted on set, or she's like near the location of where they're filming or something like that. I should note that I don't have like any inside information or something like that on this. I've been seeing a lot of people comment this recently, and so I don't know if this is coming from a spoiler site, I have no idea, but whenever I see people commenting a lot of stuff in my videos, and there's like this trend of like, oh, something got released because people are commenting this, then I assume that, there could be some truth to it potentially, I don't know. But what some people are saying is that she has been spotted on set, or she's like near the location of where they're filming or something like that. So yeah, I don't know, no idea if it's true, but the reason why I wanted to talk about it a little bit more is because Gimple was actually asked about that in this interview. Could we ever see a reunion with, I guess, Dwight and Sherry? And he said, it could. It's a pretty determined character. You never know. You don't want me to say for sure. And so because he never came right out and said no, I mean, combine that with the rumors out there anyways, I really am starting to think that Sherry could be in Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, and that we are going to get that reunion with her and Dwight. Although I don't know at this point if I really care too much. I mean, Sherry was just a Season 7 character. We barely got any time with her. I guess I would care for the Dwight character. I would like to actually see that reunion. But just, I don't even know what you can really do with it anyways, because it's not like Rick trying to find his family. You know what I mean? It's not like that of an intense reunion. It's just a side character that had a wife that was also another side character, because she was just I guess she was a Season 6 and 7 character, right? Because Dwight was there in Season 6, so I was wrong about that, but I don't know. We'll see with this. Like, as of now, I kind of care. I'm a little interested, but I feel like this reunion should have happened like a year ago. It should have happened in Season 8 of The Walking Dead. It shouldn't have happened like on Fear the Walking Dead Season 6. It just makes no sense. She left in Season 7, and I know there was like actress stuff going on, or like the actress had like work and stuff like that. She had other things that she was doing, so I totally get it. It makes sense. But for me personally, just for my interest in that storyline, I feel like that should have been resolved in Season 8. Because she went missing in Season 7, I feel like maybe she should have came back in Season 8. Maybe she was with Oceanside or something like that. Like, that's the community she found. I don't know. There could have been something different there. They could have changed up some stuff, but Obviously, the actress wasn't even available, I'm assuming anyways, so like what were they going to do anyways? So we'll see what they do. I would be interested in seeing how much this changes Dwight, just because as of late, he's kind of gotten over Sherry a little bit. If he does find her, how different is she going to be? Is she still going to be even interested in him? Like, how is their relationship going to be? Is it going to be the reunion that we're thinking it's going to be, with those characters coming together and just, just being all in love and happy? Or are they just going to be very different at this point? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But as of now, just taking Gimple's comments and the rumors going around lately, I'm starting to think it could be true. If it was just Gimple's comments and him saying that, like, well, you never know sort of thing, then I probably wouldn't really believe it. But combining that with like the recent rumors, I'm like, okay, there's something to this, I think. But to talk about what Gimple had to say about the crossover, I'll read exactly what he said here from Entertainment Weekly. That is something that we're playing around with for the future, and time is actually going to be played around with on this season of Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, who knows? I would love to get to be like Crisis on Infinite Earths. That would be super cool, but that's way down the line. So for those that don't know, Crisis on Infinite Earths is like this massive crossover event with Arrowverse, if I'm saying that right. I've never actually watched it. I just tried to do my research on it. If you guys could actually let me know, for people who do watch all of that, I would greatly appreciate that. But from what I looked into, there wouldn't be a special crossover television show sort of thing. It would basically be a crossover event on each show. So a certain episode or two, I guess, would have characters from the other shows appear in them, potentially anyways. It would all revolve around a certain storyline, and then maybe on Fear, you would see Daryl there, or something on The Walking Dead around, say, season 12, episode, 10, you have Alicia or something like that. Maybe Morgan comes back, and then, or on World Beyond, you have Alicia or Morgan there, and then also Daryl and Carol are there, but it's like on a certain episode, and it depends on where the characters are, or I guess where the story is in that season. So the crossover event wouldn't happen at the same time, and I guess this is what I find weird about that type of storytelling. And for those that have actually watched Arrowverse and all of that, let me know down below how this works. But wouldn't it be the same story anyways? Like, say that you're gonna have Alicia and a character from World Beyond on The Walking Dead. Say it's like near the end of season 12. When that crossover event happens on the other show, and say that some of those characters from The Walking Dead or whatever are on that show, wouldn't it be the same story? Or is it just a different take on that? I would like to know how they pulled that off, just because, yeah, I've never watched anything with Arrowverse. I've watched a little bit of The Flash, I guess, like season 1, way back in the day, but it was never something I really got into. I never really gave it a chance either, but that would be interesting, though, to do a crossover event like that with The Walking Dead, or just with all the shows, with the Walking Dead universe, because then you're able to actually have characters appear in the show and then also leave because they have their other show, right? You're not having them all come together and stay permanently, and I think this is actually how crossovers should be done. I don't like the Morgan and Dwight crossover. The reason why I don't like them crossing over onto Fear is because it's just so permanent, and they're Walking Dead characters. I probably would actually like Fear a little bit more if Morgan and Dwight weren't there, just because the show would feel very different. Right now, when I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead, it feels like season 8 of The Walking Dead, like season 7 and 8, because Morgan and Dwight are there. And it's almost like the same type of storytelling still. It's the same type of thing. And it feels like literally a spin-off of The Walking Dead, which is what Fear is, I know. But when you don't have those characters on there like that, it feels like its own show. Like you don't have to watch The Walking Dead to know what's going on with Fear the Walking Dead. But if you're just a standalone Fear the Walking Dead fan, like when Morgan appears on the show, it's just like, wait, what? Especially when you see Rick in the first episode of season 4 of Fear. Like, that must just be super weird for people who just watch Fear the Walking Dead only. I'm sure you probably have knowledge of The Walking Dead, but if there are people, and I don't know if those people exist anyways, but that just watch Fear the Walking Dead, that has to be really weird to just have your show completely change course like that and have a different lead, a totally, just your show being just changed entirely. And so this type of crossover event, I would actually be a little more on board with. I do have to do more research and trying to understand how it works completely. But yeah, if it's like this crossover event where an episode or two is going to have like these episodes or these characters appear, whatever, like yeah, that would be super cool, because right after you would just go back to your typical show, your typical storyline or whatever, right? But yeah, I would be kind of on board with this. I guess I'll wait to see what you guys say about the crossover event with the Arrowverse stuff, and I want to know exactly how it works. But if it is what I'm thinking it is anyways, And if Gimple is going down this route, then yeah, I think I would be on board. Now, he did talk about Fear the Walking Dead's time passage and the fact that I guess there is going to be time passage in season 6, and apparently it's going to be a lot of time. And so, I mean, I don't know what that means by a lot of time, a year, 2 years. I mean, you're able to go very far anyways, since The Walking Dead jumps 6 years into the future. I'm not saying that Fear the Walking Dead has to always stay behind The Walking Dead with its timeline, but with characters like Morgan and Dwight, and wondering if they're ever going to return to The Walking Dead, like, you do kind of want to know the timeline. That's the only place where I really care about the timeline, actually, is with Fear and The Walking Dead, just because Morgan and Dwight are there. And that's the thing, too, with these crossovers, actually, is if Morgan and Dwight ever go back to Alexandria, are they going to just stay there? Because you would imagine that they would. Or are they just going to leave because they found a new home? I don't know. I think it would just be weird for Morgan to be like, no, I'm good now. Alicia and Strand and, you know, all of them, they're kind of like my new family now. That would just feel very weird. Even if he met Rick, I'd be like, really? And even if it makes sense with the story, it would just also feel very weird as just a Walking Dead fan seeing that, right? Because to me, it's Rick and Morgan before everyone else. Like, to me, it's Rick and Morgan before Rick and Daryl, because those two characters go way, way back. But let me know what you guys think about this crossover event thing and how it could work. And also, do you think we're going to see Sherry on season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead? I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you want more Walking Dead content like this, just make sure to be a subscriber, and I'll see you guys in the next video.